Gentlemen and ladies, this is Tom from Numbers Game Lifestyle, and today we're going to talk about the fastest way to a woman's heart is through her vag. Yes, we're going to have to use a little bit of words differently because of YouTube guidelines, but you'll get the general idea. I'll put up words that need to be censored, and I'll put up like pictures that kind of describe what I'm talking about. Anyway, so what do I mean by the fastest way to a woman's heart is, between her legs? And the reason for that is, I want you to imagine, this really hot girl that you know. Let's say she's working with a guy from her social circle and they've been kind of dating for a month and he's taking it really slow because after all, it's social circle and you have to play it slow in those situations. But at the same time, it's not really serious yet. They haven't slept together yet because, it's social circle. You got to play it slow. She meets a guy off of Tinder and, he, sweeps her off her feet and he basically, sleeps with her on the first night and he was really good in bed. After that, guess what happens? Who does she really think about after that? She thinks about the guy from Tinder that she, really rocked her world in bed. And she completely forgets about, the guy from work that's been working really hard, investing so much time, energy, and money into, getting this girl. And that's what I mean by, in order to, capture or, get to a woman's heart, the fastest way is between her legs. And giving her really good experiences. So this is why every man out there should strive to be the best possible lover they could possibly be. They should max that thing out. Your goal should be to be the best lover that you could possibly be, because it provides you with so many advantages, in your entire life. What you give in the bedroom, you end up receiving 100 times over from the women that you provide these experiences with. Not only does, you being really good in bed make the girl, it blows her mind. You actually do things to her body that she's never experienced before. She'll think that all the men that she's had sex with previously to you, she doesn't even remember. To her, it wasn't even sex. What you're having between you and your girl now, that's what she considers real sex, because, it's so much more intense and so much more powerful than what she's ever experienced. And this is going to pay you back 1,000,000 times over. I can't tell you how many advantages this gives you. I mean, you can be women know that yes, I don't treat, I don't do the nice guy things in my relationships that every nice guy should, in terms of, complimenting women, buying them things, doing all the really nice guy things. But what I really do is provide an experience in bed that she has never experienced before, and she probably never will ever again with someone else. And that's because I've taken the time and effort to really maximize this thing. The more she enjoys, sleeping with me, the more I enjoy it as well. Do you know how much of a big ego boost it is to know that you can, blow girls' mind in the bedroom, and have them screaming your name where all your neighbors know that you're the big D player around here, because all the neighbors can hear what's going on in your bedroom. And they give you funny looks. That's what it does. It's, she's going to be bragging to her friends about all the amazing things that you did to her. And her friends are going to be like, what? That never happens to me. What are you talking about? She gets bragging rights because of how good you are in bed. And this is why I hear some girls saying sex isn't everything. Relationships are a lot more than sex. Love's a lot more important than sex. And that is what every woman says that has never had her, her back blown out, her mind blown in bed. Because as soon as you blow a girl's mind in bed, you know, when you rock her world and she climaxes like she's never done before, suddenly she becomes a complete sex fiend. Wants it all the time, whenever. And become like, they're more horny than men at that point. Because their sexual experiences completely dwarf us as men. Our orgasms are pretty freaking tame compared to what women can experience. You know, we get one, she gets unlimited. She can go for, you know, there's no refractory period for women. In fact, the more times they orgasm, the easier and easier it gets for them. So that's why it just intensifies the whole sexual experience. The more orgasms you give her, the more intense it gets. And it's more intense for you as well. And that is why, like, the better you like give a girl an experience in bed, the better it is for you. The more, you know, the more it pumps you up, the more confidence it fills you with. Because, you know, like, yes, this is what I can do to her. And I can basically like hijack her mind and body so that she's completely thinking about me, you know, 24 hours a day. And that's what being really good in bed does. And not a lot of men try. Most men do not. They're completely selfish. All they care about is busting a nut. And they don't really consider what their women are capable of. And, you know, how many times they can orgasm and never get like worn out. Well, they can get worn out if you work them hard enough. But yes, like they can orgasm like 10, 20 times. And you get one, and it doesn't even compare. You're not screaming like waking up your neighbors when you are orgasm, but they do. And that's the crazy thing. Their orgasms are 1,000,000 times more intense than ours will ever be. Women were designed, you know, for pleasure. That's why God gave them the magic bean between their legs above their vag. It's just there to make it pleasurable. So yes, this is why, like, you know, women are capable of so much in the sexual realm, but so many of them have never had a guy, you know, unlock all that potential in them. And believe me, there's a lot more potential in them for sexuality than what we have. You know, we bust a nut. We can bust a nut in like 5 minutes if we need to, and we're done. With them, it's like a diesel train. And, you know, it slowly builds up until it's like a freight train that can't be stopped. And yes, like that's why every guy should strive to be the very best lover that they could possibly be. Because not only does she, you know, treat you better in a relationship, you know, you get away with a lot more. I've had girls said they follow me from like hell and back just because of what I do to their body. And that's the kind of things that you'll hear when you're one of the few guys that actually prioritizes a woman's orgasm. And believe me, the neighbors will know, and like her friends will know, and you'll know. You'll be able to look at a woman and be like, I can give this woman that I don't even know, I'm going to blow her mind when I get her in bed. And yeah, that's a powerful thing. That's a powerful, like, you know, feather in your cap that you can use when you will go and approach women that you don't know. Being like, yeah, I've got a really good thing that I can give to these women. And it makes it better for me as well. You think like what you give to these women, you're going to get back 100 times over. So this is why it's so important to be the best you can possibly be in bed. And I will go over a video about how to do just that in the next episode. But yes, this is just like this is a video about how important it is and why it's important to be, you know, prioritizing her climax, prioritizing her orgasms, prioritizing the pleasure and the pain and all the emotions that she feels during sex. Because, man, it's going to turn her into a total fiend. And so you'll never have to be worrying about like, I'm horny and my girlfriend or wife doesn't want to have sex. No, it's going to be the exact opposite. You're going to be worn out, being like, oh, like another round? Why? I can't do this anymore. I've got stuff to do. That's what you can do. That's how powerful orgasms you give her. You know, she's just going to want it constantly all the time. All right, so next video, we're going to go over exactly how to do that. You know, what you can do to unlock the girl's, you know, sexual potential and really get her experiencing intense orgasms that she's never had before. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.